Whereas in the Quran, chapter 6, verse 47, they refer to him as Allah. You understand? As you look at the two and remember what I just taught you, you understand why he was called Terah, which was his name, and why the Quran referred to him as Allah, which is another name for the cloak of the ihram that Muslims wear on pilgrimage. You understand that?
Right.
Alright. You have in the Holy Quran chapter 3, verse 96, where they use the word Beit Haram. Right? You have Exodus 13:9, Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 8, Matthew 23:1, and Deuteronomy 11:18. What makes Matthew 23:1 important is they use the word discipline there. They use a Greek word though, but they use it to imply that the Pharisees exaggerated the wearing of it, but it's there. So the law follows straight down all the way through the scripture, all the way down to when Jesus had been in Rome, and a lot of Romans had converted to their way of life. You with me?
Yeah.
All right. So we have the first stage is the Barmitzwah, which is called the son of what? Right. And the 13th letter of the Hebrew alphabet is the letter Mem. Right? If you turn the word 13 and turn to 3, you get a Mem. You get an M. You follow that? Same thing. Alright? Now, we have the 3 stages. Write it down. 1, the Mezuzah. 2, the Brit Milah. And 3, the Bar Mitzvah. Those are 3 stages. Acknowledgement of the Almighty, the actual circumcision, and then when he comes into manhood. Correct?
Right.
I gave you 10 commandments, which is Exodus 23-17. Right? Alright? Now the 3 stages of the Bar Mitzvah are also 3. We said the tillet or the shawl, the tiflin, right, and the fact that the child is being brought into reading the Torah. You with that? Alright, Ishmael's age 13, Genesis 17:25. Sorry. Now one of the first stages of the Bar Mitzvah is what's called in Hebrew a darasha. All that is khutbah. It's the word darasa, study. You follow? That the young boy is required by our custom on the Friday, the first Friday after he reaches 13 in a day, he has to give the khutbah. And may be required, if asked, to lead the prayer for Asr and Maghrib, but not Isha. You understand? No. That's the first stage. So a young boy is being trained by the Imam for 2 months. 1 month, he doesn't learn the recitation, he just learns how to rap the discipline and the symbolism behind it. Then later he learns what to say when rapping it and how to make that prayer. He only uses it in the morning when he is in his personal prayer. He does not use it in a mosque where he is going to prostrate. Is that clear? Yeah. Because you are in the cube then, according to their law. Alright? Let me see. So we covered shawl. I gave y'all shawl and everything there, correct? The next stage is called he becomes crowned for a high priest. He has the right to devote his life to becoming a rabbi or a kohen. Right? Now, it is preferred to come out of the house of Levi, from Judah, that the priest could come. But if somebody's son here is not, as your first son over, and you're not a Levite or Judah, you can give your son over to the study. Alright, Deuteronomy 22:12 teaches you about the 4 fringes. Exodus 28:39 or 39, 1 through 7, teaches about the color blue. Alright? Deuteronomy 20 through 10 tells you not to mix the animal and the vegetable, or the sheep. You understand that part? You would read from the scripture, but that scripture you can continue on your own. Go into Old Psalm 5, 95 to 97. That again is another quote. Alright? I explained to you all about the child already. The services run thus. On Friday, the child gives the khutbah. One, he writes himself. Alright? On Saturday, he puts on a tefillin, which is the Sabbath. Alright? For his morning prayer. He learns how to do that within the first 2 months prior to his coming to the age of 13. A chef comes to his house that Saturday, got the tefillin for him. Alright? He does not wear it the whole day. Okay, he goes into the Barmitzwah. Now, what happens at the Barmitzwah is there's a call to prayer sounded. After that, the Proverbs 22:6 is read out loud. Everybody knows that about raising a child in righteousness, and he'll never depart from the faith. Right? Right. The Imam leads Salatul Dhuhr, afternoon prayer. At the end of the prayer, he recites Kalimat al-Haq, and everybody in the congregation follows him. They're all doing this boy's Bapmitzwah. Alright? Now you move into it. The first thing the boy does is he's being brought to the Torah, or he's being brought, in our case, to the scriptures. And the Torah is one of them. You follow? So, because it's 13, he reads first the 60th chapter of the Quran, verses 1 through 13, which gives him the 13 verses. As you read these, you'll see it. Then he next reads from what they call Ha-Torah, which is Ha-Torah. Ha-Torah means all the books of the prophets are now inclusive in the Torah, like Isaiah, Jeremiah, which are not a part of the 5 books. They call them Ha-Torah. You got it? So it means instead of just having the Pentateuch or the 5 books of Musa, alayhi salatu wasalam, you have these books that have inclusive in them. After you get past the books of Deuteronomy, you start going to Jeremiah and Amos and etc., etc., etc. That would be called a Haftorah. He reads a selection from that by someone holding the scroll up, and he's the pointer, and he reads it. This is something he has been practiced and taught by the sheikh, or as they call it, the cantor. In other words, for a muazzin, person who comes and does the chanting. Alright? Now, when he's reciting it, there's a certain rhythm that you learn. That rhythm for recitation comes from the prophet Israel and Nehemiah. These 2 prophets are the ones that sat around and chanted. Alright, a certain rhythm that's remembered in the synagogue to this very day, and they use it. So the kid does these 3 basic recitations as a symbol of bringing him to the Sheen, which is Shadid, which is bringing him to the law, to the Torah. He recites first, Holy Quran, chapter 60, verse 1 through 13. The second thing he recites is from the Haftorah, Isaiah 28, verses 1 through 13. Okay? And finally, the third thing he recites is the 103rd chapter of the Quran, which was originally revealed 13. You follow that? That is his recitation publicly. That shows his manner. These are very simple things to do. Okay? Now, his father acts as a aliyah, or as we call it, an ali. Alright? He reads a blessing that says, "Blessed is he